Hey guys, I'm so glad you're back with me. I missed you over vacation. We are going to be drawing snowmen today because I am really loving the snow. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna draw them from different perspectives. So our first perspective we're gonna draw from is the perspective of a worm or a mouse. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and you can break your paper in half. You could cut it in half. I'm going to just fold mine in half, and then I can kind of make a book of different snowmen. Then I don't waste a bunch of paper, okay? So this is my snowman. So my worm is looking at the snowman from the ground, so it's not going to be able to see the whole thing. And I'm going to use a Sharpie, but you should use a pencil. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to draw this nice curved line. Because if I'm a worm and I'm looking up this, I'm not going to be able to see very much of it. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add on the little head up here. So it's looking straight up at that. I'm going to make a tiny little circle and a little bigger circle for the buttons. I know in real life they're probably all the same size, but when we're talking about perspective, guys, things as they get further back, they get smaller, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add on a tiny little hat up here. We can't see too much of it. It's got to be pretty small because it's so far away. I can color that in if I want. I'm going to also add in my eyeballs and my nose. And maybe some of these dots. So that's the snowman looking down at the worm. Maybe we need some arms in there. This arm is going up. It's kind of waving. The second line next to it, I'm going to make some fingers shooting off. Only 3 fingers on that hand. This arm, I'm going to do another line. This one's going to kind of break off right here with a little branch. So I have my 2 arms. I could add a scarf in here, guys, if I wanted. But my snowman only has 2 parts because that's all that my worm could see. I'm gonna add the scarf on this guy. Scarf goes over the shoulder right there. Scarf comes over the shoulder on this side too. Gets bigger as it goes down. We get some hairs or strings coming off. Maybe there's a pattern on it. So guys, this is the perspective of a worm. So it's looking up at my snowman, okay? The next perspective I'm going to choose to do is a bird's eye view. So the bird is flying through the air and it's looking down on my snowman. So for my snowman on this one, I'm going to start with the circle, okay? Then I'm going to add in my nose. It's sticking off the side. You won't have that line because yours is going to be done with pencil and you can go right through that. You're going to have your cheeks right here, or your eyes right here, I'm sorry. You have your eyes right here looking up, okay? Maybe a little bigger. I'm going to have a scarf coming out over here because the bird is looking down on it. There's another one. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add another ring. Because if I'm looking straight down on this on this snowman, the small head is on the top, and then there's the medium-sized body, and then we have the really big bottom part. And if it's looking down, my arms usually get stuck out from that center, right? It's right here. And then on the other one as well. So this is 2 different perspectives, right? So right now we have the perspective of a worm and we have the perspective of a bird looking down on top. So it's a lot of different things. Okay, so our next one, you can add color in any of these. You will be adding color in all of these. And then on the last one, I'm just going to do the perspective of, I'm just quickly looking and I'm not going to see the whole snowman on this one. So he's going to go off the side of the page because sometimes artists let their work go off the side. So I'm drawing, I started with my middle circle and then add a little bit of the bottom circle, but it's going right off the side of the page. And then they're going to have that top little bit. And my hat's going to go off the side of the page. I'm going to have my nose. I'm going to add in my eyeball. And my eyeball. I'm going to color those in. My smile. Color those in eventually. I need a scarf right here. 2 rectangles, some lines down for my scarf. Now you won't have that problem because you have a pencil that you're using. I need to have my buttons. These are going to be pretty close to the same size because I'm looking at it really closely and they're all in a similar space. I need to color my eyeballs. And I'm going to need on one arm because I'm not going to see both. So when you are drawing and you're looking at things, you only draw what you see. So I only see one arm. So I'm only going to draw one arm. So this could be my perspective, my actual perspective. This would be a really big snowman if this was really drawn from my height. So I'm probably drawing this based on my daughter. So she's 3, so she usually looks up at the snowman. Okay, go ahead and add your details in, guys. We're going to use crayons to do that. If you want, you could add snowflakes in. If you have colored pencils, a fun thing to do would be to draw them and then paint over top of what you have drawn. But that is not required. So for my snowflakes, I'm doing an X and lines through that X. An X with a T on top. Because I had some extra space out here, I'm just adding in a few snowflakes. So guys, this is our first time talking about perspective, or the way you look at the object that you are drawing. Okay, there's lots of different ways or places you can look at something. Like our snowman. This one's looking, the worm is looking at it from the ground. The bird is looking at it from the sky. And then the last one is Miss Katie's 4-year-old is looking at it from right here. Okay, I can't wait to see what perspectives you draw.